What's going on, Neon Nation? Welcome back for your weekly dose of Cyberpunk 2077 news. We have a fair bit to cover today, including Q&As, Easter eggs, localization, contests, the video game awards, a Cyberpunk 2077 comic, body types, and more. First, we have this awesome Voodooboys Xbox One X console CD PROJEKT RED has created in collaboration with the Friendly Fire 5, an annual German charity stream on Twitch. This is being auctioned off on eBay to support charities and is already up to almost 14,000 euros, with still a fair bit of time left on the auction. Now, during the actual FF5 stream, Miles, Tost, and Fabian Doehla were asked about the game, mainly in regards to Easter eggs and Tesla's Cybertruck. When asked if the team creates Easter eggs that only coworkers will understand, Miles and Fabian mentioned that their legal department has to approve Easter eggs and that they mostly use insider eggs that only employees can understand. Fabian mentions that they're working on a bigger project in Cyberpunk and waiting for that to get approval. Miles also cannot confirm or deny the presence of Witcher 3 Easter eggs, although we've kind of already seen some. They also mentioned that the Cybertruck reveal was a surprise for them, as well as the design and the logo. Fabian mentions that if it does have something to do with CDPR, that would be a great compliment. This sort of insinuates that there is no collaboration here, although there might have been some inspiration taken from 2077 or the Cyberpunk source material. Next up, we have a brief Q&A in Game City Vienna 2019 featuring Miles Tost. We have a couple new details here, including radio stations and body types. Now, after the demo presentation that they've been showing all over the place, the floor was opened up for some questions. When it comes to radio stations, Reddit user Wolfgang Krojsig, who compiled these questions on Reddit, mentioned that he saw 4 to 5 new radio stations being cycled. One was Pacific Dream, another was Night City FM, and there was also a third one which he believed is called the Dirge. We've also seen Stanley Media as a general radio station, assuming the station is still in the game. When asked if there are different body types in the game such as bulky, fat, and skinny, our OP mentions that there are sliders for this on each relevant body part, but he couldn't see how much of it actually affects our character because it was never shown. Moving on, we have this really cool Cyberpunk 2077 comic book that employees at CDPR and GOG received recently. The cover does seem to feature the Immortality chip. I'm really hoping this is released physically or digitally pre-launch as a primer to the story, or just as some accompanying material that will keep fans engaged in 2077. Next up, we have some hints about a potential CDPR and Cyberpunk 2077 presence at the Video Game Awards that are happening tonight. By the way, I'll be streaming this live with Neon Nation, so set a reminder and come stop by the channel to hang out and watch the awards show with the community. We're going to start this off at 8:30 PM EST. Now, last year CDPR came out and denied their presence days before the VGAs 2018, saying they would not be in attendance. This year we've gotten zero confirmation of them not being there, and doing some diving into CDPR employees, it seems like Public Relations Manager of CD PROJEKT RED Fabian Doehla is in Los Angeles, as is the Communication Director at CD PROJEKT RED. Now, obviously the awards show also does take place in LA. Piotr Nelubowicz also mentioned in a financial call that they've begun the marketing ramp up, and this call was released merely weeks ago. The VGAs 2019 fits in this window of the marketing ramp up and just happens to be in Los Angeles. There's also a theory floating around the net regarding Green Day and CD PROJEKT RED. Again, a Redditor noticed that in the deep dive demo there are vocals that are audible around 2 minutes and 35 seconds in, which seem to be very reminiscent of lead singer of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong. Now, apparently Green Day is going to be at the VGAs as well. I tried listening to some Green Day songs from my childhood, but I didn't really get the vibe it was the same singer, so you guys are gonna have to let me know what you guys think about this.
Games Distress. 2 gangs, the Animals and the Voodoo Boys. And you'll see glimpses of Johnny Silverhand, the digital construct who haunts our main character, V. A word of caution.
I've also been trying to get some details on anything I can via Twitter, so far to no avail. I did some investigating and saw that the communication director at CDPR had liked this tweet regarding Green Day from VGA host Jeff Knightley. This certainly makes things interesting if we're talking about theories. I also want to note that other Reds have been liking tweets from Jeff about the VGAs in general. All this considered, I think there is some credence to CDPR having some sort of presence within the VGAs, so again, stop by the channel and we'll find out together tonight. Also, check out the growth of the VGAs year by year. This is an awards show that's becoming increasingly relevant by its exponential growth since it began in only 2014. It would be a ripe time to showcase at least something. Moving on, we have a ton of details about supported languages, localization, and some snippets of voice acting from around the globe. This is something that CD PROJEKT RED is heavily investing in to make the VA as true to Cyberpunk as possible, no matter what version you pick up or where you live. In an interview with nightcitylife.de, a German Cyberpunk 2077 fan site, Mikolaj Sved, senior localization producer at CD PROJEKT RED, mentioned some truly interesting facts about Cyberpunk 2077's languages. By the way, shout out to a couple of these Reddit users for sharing their translations, as the interview was in German. First, we learned that dialogues and text get developed in Polish, then translated to English, and from there translated to the different locales. Voice actors are chosen on recommendations of existing studios in their respective countries for the most part, but Mikolaj can't mention whether there will be celebrity or influencer voice actors at the moment. He estimates around 100 voice actors are working on Cyberpunk 2077, which was the same for The Witcher 3. I believe this is in reference to the German version, so extrapolate that figure for all the different localizations. For reference, Skyrim had 70 voice actors. Now, one of the coolest pieces of information from this is that the lip syncing is done by an algorithm which is fed a voice file. This is a really cool way to do facial animations. Some voice actors do have multiple roles, but no more than 4 to 5, and even accents are translated to the locales. An example of this is a German local voice actor for Jackie, who is half German and half Spanish. Again, this is some serious dedication that CDPR is putting into their languages. The voice actors are mainly different from the ones from The Witcher 3, so no connections can be made to them when listening to the new characters. To give you guys a taste, here's some audio snippets of some of the Brazilian Portuguese dubbing.
Chumba.
Night City muda o tempo todo.
A cidade, as pessoas, tudo parece organismo vivo.
Não dá pra ficar de bobeira. Vacilo.
E você pode perder tudo.
E aí, Cyberpunks? Aqui é Johnny Silverhand, espero vocês em Night City. A gente tem uma cidade pra queimar.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, tune in tonight with me to watch the VGAs. Tons of cool announcements in general will be coming, so if you are interested, please pop on in. As always, for more Cyberpunk, join Neon Nation by subscribing to the Neon Arcade.